Hello traders, Kendall FX here, back on your screen with something very powerful and very interesting. So most of you guys have been asking me, how do I actually correlate market structure with using a Fibonacci to understand a trending market structure? So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I actually managed to correlate market structure with Fibonacci in order for me to understand a trending market. So guys, if it's your first time coming across my YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more of these amazing educational content. And remember guys, the goal is to hit 1K. So let's get right into it. So guys, let's get right into the chart so that I can actually show you guys how I actually navigate, how I actually correlate market structure with Fibonacci. Let's go. So if you look at the charts here, so what I simply do is very simple. If you look at my screen, what I simply do is very simple. In a sense where price is in a push to the upside, right? In a sense where price is in a push to the upside, what I simply look out for is I look for a swing point. In order for me to understand a swing point, I must find where price is actually coming from and where price is actually retracing from. So in a sense where price is coming from this point here, right? At that very point is where the swing point actually happened. So now I've actually discovered where price is actually coming from. And then when I actually discover where price is coming from, I then look for a point where price is simply making its retracement. So now that price makes like this swing point, right? This swing point all the way to this high point here. At this very high point, price is simply going to do what? Start retracing. So now let's get back to the fact that I need to understand that this market is a trending market, right? So every single time a market is trending, it always respects what? The Fibonacci, because the Fibonacci tends to show you how the market is simply doing what? Moving, in a sense of it being what? Trending. So now in a sense where price is now retracing from this point, right? So I always stretch my fib from the low point where price is actually coming from to the high point where price is actually retracing from. So once I actually do that, I realize that price does come into my 50 and the 61%. I simply wait for price to come from this point in this area here, the 50 and 61%. And once price comes into my 50 and 61%, and then of course I have to say like more confirmation, such as it creating some sort of like a strong support in order for price to continue pushing to the upside. And if you have not, if you don't know how to spot a strong support, there's a link just around the same video, or you can go through my previous videos. I did a video on how to actually use how to spot a strong support and a strong resistance. So every single time price comes in there, I wait for it to create a strong support so that it can actually give me confirmation that it's now ready to push where? To the upside. Now let's try to look at it based off the charts. How does it really look like, right? How does it really look like? So in a sense where price is in a push to the downside, right? Price is in a push to the downside. So what I want to see is I want to see price. I want to understand where is price actually coming from and where is price retracing from. So first and foremost, you realize that price is simply coming from this high point here. At that very high point, that's where price is actually coming from. So this is going to be my area of interest, in a sense where I'm trying to understand if this downtrend is actually a trending market or not, right? So I take my fib and stretch it all the way from that low point. And now the next thing that I want to do is I want to understand where is price actually retracing from. You do realize that at this very point here, right? At this very point, price is simply showing rejections, meaning that it wants to retrace to gather more money. You can call it money, you can call it volume, momentum. It's one and the same thing, right? So whenever price is coming from this point, it's now trying to retrace. So I wait for it, right? I'm going to stretch my fib from the high point there to the low point here. This is like a downtrending market, right? So I'm waiting for price to come into my 50 and 61% in here. I'm waiting for price to come into this area, and once price decides to come into this area, I want to see it push where? To push down, right? I want to see it to push where? To go down. So what I'll be waiting to see is I'll be waiting for price to come into that area, and we have that beautiful tap and we have that beautiful resistance being created just like that. That's how I actually managed to understand a trending market with correlation with a Fibonacci. Yeah guys, so that's all I had for you guys today, and make sure to subscribe, like and share with your fellow traders. Yeah, let's grow the community. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go.